went many years there. We weren't supposed to be hunting over where we were hunting, where these rabbits were on the second level of the bow. The bow came up here, and then it had a second bank, and then it had the high bank where they farmed. Well, on that second bank down there, the man wouldn't let us come through the gate to come there, but we went around and walked across a pipeline that was above the water, barely, but the water level would get, there's a pipe, it was about I imagine it's at least a 12-inch line. And as it get out toward the middle of the bow, it would get down to where it was right at the level with the water, and then it came up on each side. Not very much, 2 feet, maybe 3 feet. And the dogs would start across and they would fall off that pipe and have to swim across the bow every time. But it didn't matter, because I had at one time 13 beagle hounds, and that's when we were doing. But we'd go over there, and you never saw the like of rabbits in your life, and they were all swamp rabbits. Once in a while, we'd get a cottontail out of the cotton field on top of the hill. But we'd go and we'd kill 40-something, but we never could kill 50-something. And
what was the limit?
Oh, I don't know.
Who cares?
You know, Uncle Glenn, the Andy Griffith of Fairbanks, is an outlaw, you know.
But we'd have a good time over there. Everywhere you look, rabbits would be running, but it was thick. You wouldn't get many good open shots. They were hard to come by. But let me tell you, 40-something swamp rabbits is a lot of meat. And then we had to go back across the pipeline the same way we got across, carrying the rabbits on the way back. But
did y'all fall off the pipeline or just the dogs?
None of us ever did. No, we never did. We could have, but we didn't. And it didn't matter. One day we were out there in the blind, and a drove of cormorants came by. And Joe knew they were cormorants, I know. He says, "Geese!" And Jay raised up and shot one, fell in the water right there. Of course, you wasn't supposed to be shooting him anyway. But from then on, Buddy would refer to, say, "There comes some Joe geese. There comes some Joe geese." He referred to those geese from then on as Joe geese. They weren't cormorants. They were Joe geese. And had 2 good hunts there in Black Bow, particularly good. One was one morning, Buddy and Jim Hutchins, who took Drew Pesnell's place when Drew left. But Drew wasn't in on this, but David and myself and Buddy and Jim Hutchins was there. Had a drove of ducks come in right at daylight, and it was so dark you could only tell they were dark spots there. You couldn't tell a drake from a hen. I had my gun unplugged. David had his gun unplugged, which gave us 10 shots, and Buddy and the other boy had 3 shots apiece, so that's 16 shots. When we got through shooting, I jumped in the boat and went to picking up ducks. Every one of them was a greenhead. We killed 13 greenheads, and no more than 1 or 2 ducks flew out. If we didn't get, we ran out of shells. But we had 13 greenheads out of 16 shots.
Wow.
And I know David and I got our 10 because the other 2 couldn't shoot. Neither one could shoot. And
well, y'all might have gotten 2 in one shot, maybe.
Well, we might have done that. That's possible. We could have. But and then one morning, Joe, we were going up there, and I told him, I said, "Y'all need to come on down here where I'm going." I said, "I was in here yesterday, and they were in here. The water was frozen over, and in Black Bow it was frozen over, but you could run a motor through it. But up there in the upper end, there was a big open hole, and they were gathered in there, and I'd gone in the day before to find them, and I tried to get Joe and Buddy. They were going to go, too. David and I went in one boat and left about 4 of them in a duck blind, and Joe and them said, "Oh, we'll go down and hunt down here, down below you." I said, "You better come on and go up there where we are." We got up there, and, man, gray ducks, they came piling in there that morning just at the crack of day. We didn't have any place to hide, so all I did was I ran the boat up on a big pad of lily pads there. And we sat there, and in the time it got light enough to shoot until the time they could see us on those pads and wouldn't come in close enough to shoot. We killed 37 or 39, just as fast as you could shoot.
What Joe and them kill?
Huh?
What Joe and them do?
Joe and them killed 1. They said they could hear us and it sounded like a war down there. And when we got through, we picked up a couple more than 100 empties around there on the water because we reloading shells. Reloading shells, so we didn't want to leave all those empties. We picked up those empties. We had really unloaded on those.